Mind's up, mind's up. Thank you for tuning in once again to Mind's Up Moments with your girl, Takia Diamond. And today, what I would like to do is basically a sort of like a continuation from what we were talking about when I brought to you why are there so many murders, killings, kidnappings, and all of these other chaotic things happening in our world today. This time we're going to do it without the tears. What you will learn as you go through a spiritual process, sometimes old emotions do submerge, but that is a part of the clearing process. What happens is whenever you have things that you've suppressed for a long time, things that you may have felt, they all tend to just kind of come out, you know, so that you can release that and be able to move on. So I apologize for my tears. But anyway, back to this knowledge, you know what I mean, that you guys need. So, as I align myself with oneness, I do want to ask that each and every one of you join me in being co-creators, because we are co-creators. What we see is actually what becomes, and a lot of the problems that we have in the world today is because of the energy that we put into it and the way that we view it. So I am going to ask that each and every one of you come into agreement with me to begin to see the world that we live in a state of peace, in a state of harmony, in a state of joy, and in a state of love, because this is the only way that we will be able to alter what it is that we see. Again, as I align with my oneness to begin co-creation, I really need you guys to join me mentally and spiritually to see the world in, you know, a peaceful state. Now, the egoic mind, the ego, I'm sure you guys have heard of ego, but there are two different aspects to the ego, which I'm not going to get into, like, in total into this video. But there is the ego where people, the ego that most people know is the one that, oh, you know, it's all about me, blah, 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 blah. But there is a whole nother part to that portion of your ego, which is the one that discourages you from doing all the things that should be done. It's that voice in your head that says, oh no, you got time, just do it another day. Or, oh, you're not good enough to become that, so you'll never be able to be that, why don't you just give up now? It's that voice in your head that gives you all the wrong instructions. But we will talk about ego another time. In any case, my purpose of bringing up the ego was basically to say that the ego mind would tell you that it's not even possible for our world to even, you know, come into like a state of peace. And it would tell you that because it doesn't really want you to change. It doesn't really want to see anything change. The ego is also a part of this whole agenda that is in us, basically controlling a lot of what we see going on today, and especially ourselves, you know. As I stated, you know, the ego mind will tell you that it's not even possible with all that's happening in our world. You know, at the end of the day, we're all programmed to believe this, that that's just the way that our world is today, and that we don't really have any control over the chaotic condition that it's in. And it's only because basically, you know, we're wired to be mentally lazy, and the ego is very adamant at convincing us that we can't do the things that need to be done. I mean, the ego mind does try to convince us that nothing can change. And because it tries to convince us that nothing can change, it usually wins because we believe that voice that tells us that. Now, in your heart, you may really want to see things change in the world. Just like in my heart, I really want to see something different. I don't want to see our world in this chaotic state that it's in, you know. But a way to discourage that and to shift what we see today that's happening in the world is to begin to see beautiful pictures of our world, to see our world in peace, to see us all getting along with one another, to see us all sharing with one another, being love with one another, not hating on each other, because these are all basically just programmed behaviors, you know. These are things that we see on TV and movies and here on the radio, just all these different things that are actually really controlling our belief systems, you know. In any case, in order for us to see the beauty that I'm speaking of, we actually have to co-create that beauty, you know. One of the major problems is that there are billions of people that are out there projecting images in their mind that creates more of that which we see that's taking place in the world. And we must all come to an understanding of the concept and the truth of law of attraction, law of reaction, and the law of one. Now, I guess the main thing, the main point that I want to point out of everything that I mentioned is the law of attraction, in being that what you think is what becomes. So good or bad, you call it and it will come to you. You know, mentally and emotionally, you ask by your projected images that you see in your mind. So therefore, what happens is you receive and you retrieve these images, you know, in your mind once you project it in your subjective thinking and processing. The mental projections are basically what feeds the universe our orders. It's like if you bake dough, it'll produce bread if you put it in the oven, right? Because that's what it's supposed to do. But you can't expect to open up an oven where you put the dough at and expect when you open it you're gonna see a cheeseburger. It's just not there. Like, that's not what it was designed for. That's not what was put in it in order for it to be able to create a cheeseburger. On a cheeseburger, you need a cow. You want bread, you use dough. And basically, I say that just to kind of like give you an example, because no matter how much you might want to see something different, it just won't happen if that order is not, if what the dough is made of cannot produce a cheeseburger. No matter what you do and how many times you put it in the oven, it's still not going to produce a cheeseburger. And basically, that's the same tactics that we have to deal with, like when it comes to the things that we're ordering with our thoughts, the things that we're telling the universe that we want. It's almost like it's just not there. You know, we are very much so focused on what's going wrong in the world, what we don't want, how we're so adamantly pissed off about all of the violence that's continuously happening. But collectively, we don't even really realize that that's the order that we're putting in. So every time we project more violence, more corruption, more confusion, that's what we're telling the universe that we want. We're saying, give me more, give me more, give me more. And therefore, that's what's happening, is the universe is actually giving us more of what we have placed the order for. So it's just like if you are you want to increase your financial flow. If you're telling your subconscious mind two different things, if you're saying to yourself, okay, I want more money, I deserve more money, and you know, this is what I want to do, I want to have a more abundant life, but all you always think about is what you don't have. I don't have enough money. I never have enough. Money always flowing through my hands. Every dime I get, I spend. These type of things, these are the words that you put out into the universe. And this is what the universe gives back to you. And it gives it back to you because that's what you're saying that you want more of. You're saying, I need money to continuously flow out of my hand as I get it. I need a reason to spend it. And that's because that's what you are putting out there, you know, as your order. So you just want to be mindful of what it is that you are ordering. So it's like, with that being said, every single time that we think of about how messed up the world is, we're actually placing an order in the universe that, like I said, it says that that's what we want more of, you know. And I know you probably never really looked at it like that, but honestly, you know, that's the truth as to why we see, you know, the world in the state that it currently is in at this time, you know. Me personally, I've come to bring you what you need to know, you know, to try to bring you this truth so that you can have a greater understanding or understanding of what's happening and why it's happening, and at least have some type of idea to change it. Rallying and all of those type of things, they're good, and it makes you feel good because you feel like you're doing something positive, but in all actuality, they really just contribute to the problem, because the energetic vibration that we put out is that we're tired of this, but we collectively don't even recognize that the more we're saying we're tired of this, the more of it that we're drawing to ourselves and to the world that we live in, you know. But unfortunately, we believed our way into this mess, I guess is a good way to put it. It's more importantly, I want to make sure that you know that we did believe ourselves into this, or we did speak all of this stuff into our world, but it's actually to no fault of our own. And that's what I, more importantly, you know, definitely want you to know. Because like, once you know, now you allow the continuation of the drama, you know, that's going on in the world to happen. You know, you must grab control of what's trying to control you, which is this controlled thinking that's happening, you know, through our media and things like that, that are actually keeping us away from our true selves. And even knowing that we even have the ability to change it, we haven't even really been taught that we are able to alter, you know, what we see that's happening in the world today. You know what I mean? So you have to realize at this point that there is something else that's puppeting you to perceive things, you know, in a negative way. And that's why more of it is continuously coming, you know. If you can't see it like that, I can prove it to you that there is something else that's puppeting you, that's controlling you, to hold on to these limited beliefs and to hold on to all of these different things that's happening in the world. I mean, if you think about it, if you've ever experienced you about to do something that you know you ain't got no business doing, and then there's this voice in your head, or there's this voice that just says to you, or this feeling that you get that says to you, no, you know, you don't need to do that, blah, 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 blah. But you don't listen to it, and then you find yourself getting into a big leap of trouble because you didn't listen to that voice that was telling you not to, you know, involve yourself in those type of things. So that is the greater something that is in you. There's two greater things that are in you. You know, there's the one thing that wants to bring you down, which is the ego, and then there is that higher self that wants to reprogram your intelligence, that wants to rewire your brain and show you that there really is something different, and that you do have control over you know, what we see, in order to be able to try to shift that, you know. So that's something greater, you know. Again, it just wants to alter your perception so that you can evolve and not be sucked into the madness that we're experiencing today. You know, I was asked, like, have you ever wondered, like, why we're here? Why was I born? What is the purpose of all this earth stuff? You know, it's just so much deeper than you know, and at the end of the day, we are all under heavy mind control, and the people that's controlling it, they feel like if something works, why change it? And for centuries, they've been controlling our lives, and it has been working. And they continuously do it because not many people are awake to even understand what's really happening, you know. When we have media, music videos, just all these different things that are actually control, I mean, even control education, like in our school systems, we are actually we are taught what they want us to know. And everything that's in the history books isn't really our history. And unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. And that's how they control our education, you know. They feed us a whole bunch of lies, programmed information that we believe. We believe it because that's what we were taught. We figure, why would my teacher lie to me? You know what I mean? And that's what we believe. And so we just kind of rock with it. But unfortunately, a lot of the information is incorrect that has been given to us, or has a lot of the factual information has been hidden from us. You know what I mean? So that we're not aware of our truth, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, we're forced to learn this stuff, you know. And it's like, if you don't pass, then you stay back. But more importantly, I don't think people even recognize the only reason why they really want you to pass is to confirm that the programming, the mission of that programming has been accomplished, you know. This is how they know. This is why they have all these different how you call it, SATs and all these different testing and all that stuff. Is basically, yeah, it's to test your IQ or to see what you know, but more importantly, it's to see how much of the programming they have accomplished within you. Because if you know all the answers and you getting everything right, you know, majority of the time they feel like perfect mission has been accomplished. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, the world that we live in, people, you know, we thrive off of drama, you know, and some people don't even realize that they bring this drama into their own life. Just by accepting the drama that we see on TV or watching stupid stuff. I don't want to call this stupid, but it is stupid stuff, like Love and Hip Hop and all these different things. When we see all this chaos and craziness happening on these TV shows, and then we're buying into these behaviors, you know what I mean? And just buying into these behaviors, it does not help us. It actually hurts us. But that is the whole principle, is to just get a bunch of people to act stupid and make it seem like this is what's called living the life. We buy into that, and then we want a taste of that, not even recognizing what it is that we're asking for, you know? So to shift this mindset, it is necessary, although I know that it is a little challenging to do. But my whole thing is, if we could sit there and do ice bucket challenges and all that other stuff for craziness, for little of nothing, then I think that we owe it to ourselves. I think we owe it to our families, and just to the people in this world, to at least offer a positive vibration within the world. You know what I mean? To at least offer the universe an opportunity to help us change what we're looking at. And that cannot happen until we all collectively, you know, just shift the vibration and shift our thoughts into something much more positive and something much more deeper and rewarding, rather than consistently focusing on the things that we don't want to see, you know. So, you know, that's pretty much, you know, the gist of it. I'm not going to go too much further, but I do, again, want to say that, please, in order to see a change in what it is that we're looking at with all the violence and all the chaos that's happening in the world today, we all have to collectively shift our mindset and see our world from a different perspective. We have to see our world from a place of love, from a place of peace. And even though I know it is challenging, it can be done. Like I said, if we could sit there and let people throw ice on us for trying to see whatever the disease is that is supposed to show you, ASL or whatever the case may be. I don't even want to get into all of that, because all of this stuff is just man-made, and I don't know. I don't want to go backwards and start feeling some kind of way. So, you know, I'm just going to keep it forward. But, you know, I definitely will say that let's all add new programs, you know what I mean? Let's utilize the same formula that they're using, you know, through media and things of that nature, but by, you know, making our music videos and the things that we talk about project something positive, you know, building up our nation, building up our children, and just building them up to not really see what's on the news and turning the damn TV off. I mean, putting on something that's worthwhile watching, something that's going to educate people and lift people up, not have people continue to buy into this low vibration, you know, that we're looking at. You know what I mean? So this love and this change begins within you. You know what I mean? It first starts with you. And again, like I said before, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So if we want to see a change in the world, we have to change the way that we are perceiving it. And let's just be that love. Be that love that we all are. See our world in a beautiful place. And know that the only way that it can change is that collectively each and every one of us contribute to the change that we wish to see. I love you from my heart to yours. Mine's up.